For more on the intra-party sniping and just where Democrats go from here, we're welcoming in Lindy Li, Finance Committee member at the DNC. Lindy, appreciate you making the time. And I know that you've been very outspoken, very critical, specifically of a campaign donor call recently. And you say VP Kamala Harris has taken no responsibility for blowing billions of dollars. How would you describe the tone of that call? And what do you want to hear from Harris?
Thank you so much for having me today. Happy Thanksgiving. It was just startling how there was no sense of responsibility. No one assumed any accountability for what happened. They essentially set $2 billion on fire in 100 days. And a lot of people pour their hearts and souls into the effort to do everything they could to help Kamala Harris win. And no one answered any questions about why millions of dollars were spent on star-studded concerts, celebrities. $2.5 million went to Oprah's production company. Oprah very well could have made an in-kind contribution and covered the production costs and her employee's salary herself, but she decided to take payment from the campaign instead. And also, we learned recently that $500,000 was given to Al Sharpton just shortly before he interviewed Kamala Harris. So there's a lot of conflict of interest here, and we need a careful accounting and probably more granular than the FEC report would offer. So somebody needs to carefully explain why they decided to, for example, spend $900,000 on the sphere. Because if we don't do that, how are voters and donors ever going to trust the Democratic Party again?
Do you think, on the flip side, a little over 100 days to mount a campaign was a near impossible task? Would there have been criticism if the Harris campaign did not leave everything on the table to spend every single dollar they have and then some? Isn't it common for campaigns to end in debt?
Well, when Obama ended in debt in 2012, it left the DNC in a terrible position because we had to climb out of debt. And that took a while. And that definitely, even Hillary Clinton cited the 2012 Obama debt as a reason why she lost, because initially her campaign was at a disadvantage. And also, there is no reason why consultants became overnight millionaires through the campaign. There's no justification for that. You know, these are everyday Americans, hardworking Americans, a lot of whom just gave $10 to $15. And that was all they could do. They pour their hearts into the campaign. They deserve answers as to why these people became millionaires, multimillionaires. Just bear in mind that all the advertising costs, hundreds of millions of dollars, went to just four well-connected firms. That's it. You know, the whole thing was very incestuous. Friends took care of friends, but it's not about that. That campaign was supposed to be spent on battleground states, making the economic case to Americans, explaining bread and butter issues, explaining how she would bring inflation down, not on lining the pockets of well-connected Democrats.
Do you agree that Obama and Pelosi did not want Harris?
I know they didn't. It's not, I have a lot of friends in Obama world, and actually I'm friends with Speaker Pelosi, and I spoke with her before I actually went on air to encourage President Biden to step aside. And I touched base with her camp before I did that.
And what did she tell you?
It's not a matter of conjecture for me. I know they didn't.
I appreciate that. What did she tell you at that time?
Well, she said it was fine that I went on air to encourage President Biden to step down. It was July 21st when I went on Fox News Sunday, and I said it was time for him to step down and pass the mantle to the next generation. It was necessary. It became clear that he was no longer able to effectively litigate the case against President Biden, against Trump. So, and Obama and Pelosi were both hoping for a primary instead of a coronation, so to speak.
Who do you think they were hoping for?
I don't think Pelosi was hoping for anyone in particular, or not that I know of. I do know that Obama was carefully vetting Mark Kelly, the senator from Arizona. I know there were other names on his list. I'm not saying that Kamala Harris was necessarily at the top of the list, but he was definitely considering other candidates. I don't think she was ruled out. I just think that everyone is, a lot of people, the chieftains of the party, were hoping for a lightning round, a lightning primary. And President Biden essentially preempted that by issuing his endorsement 30 minutes after he dropped out. I don't think anyone saw that coming. We did not see that coming. I think a lot of people anticipated that he might have stepped aside, but no one anticipated the twofer that we got that day.
I really appreciate your time. Lindy Li, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.